Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles. If you're new, please subscribe. And if you're a subscriber, then welcome back. I wanted to record this and tell you, everybody, you and everybody, about the differences between a regular therapy session and a session with Andy Sway. I think it really, you will benefit from this comparison. Just to set some things very clear. I recorded a lot of audios about Andy Sway, and we have an interview also posted, so go make sure you check it out. It's a little long, but it's worth every minute of it. So I've been to therapy before, and the main difference is this: a therapist always lets you talk and talk and talk and talk, and there's a certain period of time that like you have to get to know the therapist gets to know you. You kind of make sure the fit is right, and that you feel comfortable, that they jot down everything about your childhood, all sorts of fears that you have or whatever you're working on. And it's kind of like a very slow process, right? Because they're taking notes, they're mostly listening, they're observing you like some kind of a object. And this is just how it really goes in therapy, in professional therapy. For me, honestly, it's a frustrating process because I'm talking most of the time, like 99.9%. And I get no feedback. There's no feedback whatsoever. It's almost like you're having a monologue the entire time. And sometimes the therapist will say, well, remember how your mother did this and that, and this is like this and like that. So it's just kind of like a mirror back to you, telling you what you already said, and then you get to think about what that means for you. And they're just kind of a mirror, a reflection, usually the therapist is. There isn't a lot of like, you know, like, there isn't a lot of analytical stuff going on. There isn't a lot of like, what do you think I should do? You know what I mean? If you ask a therapist, what do you think I should do, or how do you think I should change my life, the therapist will tell you, I cannot answer that. That is for you to figure out. That's their protocol. That's how, the therapy goes. And basically I would say that's pretty accurate description. You're basically venting, you're talking about what bothers you. And, to me, honestly, I might as well be talking to a friend. It's a little bit more personable. A friend might give you their opinion or an advice or something like this, right? Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. Listen, there are probably therapists out there who, I don't know, maybe somebody who goes to them for like years, which I don't think is like, I've never understood that personally. I mean, if you have to go to therapy for years, that's kind of like, that's not therapy, that's friendship. This is not, the point of therapy is for you to heal and move on with your life. It's not to like keep going there. I mean, once in a while maybe for like a checkup, but not, you know what I mean, like consistently, like every week or every 2 weeks, whatever it is. To me, like when I hear about people doing that, it's weird to me. I don't know. But whatever works. Now, we're going to discuss how ND differs, right? Total drastic, completely diametrically opposed situation. Because you're not going to spend months or years, dissecting each situation and all this kind of stuff. That's the main difference. And, when you talk to Andy, I was telling this to my friend the other day because he's kind of like having some issues, and I can't really discuss it because that's his business. He's having some issues. And I told him, listen, you need to go to Andy because you, first of all, you're gonna get results really quick, and I mean, that's just it. You're gonna get results really quick. And Andy doesn't beat around the bush. You don't have to like him. He's there to do the job. It's like a dentist is there to take care of your teeth, and somebody like a surgeon is there to perform an operation. That's his job. You're not there to like him necessarily. He's just there helping you fix yourself. It's like a car that the engine is not running properly, and you just go and he tells you, okay, this is what it is. And this is what you have to examine, and listen, I got done more within, I don't know how many sessions I've had. I think maybe 3 sessions I had with him. More things in, like, I think it was like 5 hours I spent with him, something like that, maybe 4 in total. More in those 4 hours than I did in years of therapy in my past. True story. Really. Because with Andy, yeah, you can ask him, like, what do you think? And what do you think this means? And what do you think that? Now, listen, his opinion, you may not agree with his opinion. It doesn't matter. It's a perspective of somebody educated in these things. And most of the time, he's right, okay? It's really just what it comes down to. You may not like the answer, but at that moment in time, he's correct, because the way things stand right now, he is correct. And like, people might get hurt by his, some sensitive people might get hurt by his, like, straightforwardness, but we're not going to Andy to be, again, friends or whatever. We're going to Andy to fix our issues. And that's the main thing. Like, a lot of people misunderstand what therapy is about. It's not about you making friends with the therapist. It's not about, like, oh, poor me, like me, like me. No, that's a waste of time. You're there to fix your shit. Forgive my language. And then apply it in your life and say to yourself, I'm going to make a change, because obviously whatever I've done thus far ain't working. And that's really the difference, the fundamental difference, mind you. And again, you get done a lot of stuff in such a short period of time. It doesn't cost nearly as much. I mean, there's no insurance you can apply with Andy. There is that, but still, it's still an astronomical of a difference with expense wise. It just really doesn't even come close, And let's face it, you want to see results right away, don't you? I do. I think we agree on that. Haven't you, like, wasted enough years or months or whatever it is, like, doing the stuff that you've done that hasn't been productive? That's just how I see it. I want results quick. And that's the main thing. It might hurt, right, in the moment that you do it. But that is because you're so unaccustomed to seeing what it really is. You've been telling yourself some kind of victimization story that isn't working. I am guilty of it too. Listen, this is exactly why I went to Andy. And what has happened to me is that, yeah, I've been telling myself this victimization story that basically translated in manifesting people in my life that were not conducive to my development. And then I sat around in therapy and was like, oh my God, I don't know why this happened, And then what is more, productive, to do that or to go to Andy and for him to go, yeah, this, and this is why. Now go and think about that and call me back when you're ready for another session. I would take the latter. Anyway, I don't want to make this too long, but hope this helps you. And Andy's info is again below. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.